It was it was something, just a bit of a shock factor. Vladimir's style is very negative. He doesn't hold his feet very well. He doesn't engage in battle like people pay to see. So I thought, okay, well, what can I do to get this guy to hold his feet to go to war with me? Well, you can verbally abuse somebody, call him Vladimir Bitchko 200 times until he really starts irritating him. Get his other people calling him Bitchko. You could wear shirts with him and his brother's decapitated head been ripped from his limp body. You can use lots of little tactics you can do, and you'll see the extent of where I'm willing to go in the lead up to this fight. I don't feel there's any real boundaries, because at the end of the day, in 20 years' time, people aren't going to be thinking about a T-shirt. They're going to be thinking about the way I destroyed Vladimir Klitschko in Germany in front of just under 70,000 of his fans.
Do you think you would have gotten the fight had you not, come up with the T-shirt?
I think it would have been a bit harder and it wouldn't have sold as well. I just saw 47,000 tickets sold in under 2 days. No, that's not because Vladimir is an entertaining boxer. That's for damn sure. They were giving tickets away for his fight with Hasim Rahman. They were giving them away with Tony Thompson. Now they've just sold 47,000 in 2 days. And I don't feel that's got anything to do with what Vladimir does in the ring. That's simply to do with what I do. And everybody knows 21 of my 22 victories have come via violent knockout. And people know what I bring. I know what I do when the bell rings. Let's come out and give value for money and entertainment. And the heavyweight division has been shit for the last 4 or 5 years. It really has sucked. Everybody's switching off from it. And it's in dire straits at the moment, the heavyweight division. And it's time for someone like myself to come out there and shake it back up, to make that division exciting again. You've got Ruslan Shagayev, who's got a portion of the WBA, Nikolai Valuev, who's got the other portion of it. His brother's got the WBC, he's got the WBA and WBO and IBF. And nobody really knows what the hell's going on in this division. It's just a joke. Since Lance Lewis threw in the towel and called it a day, no one's really been flying the flag. And coincidentally, you got another guy from the UK, who's the former undisputed champion. I was Ring Magazine's cruiserweight champion. I had the WBA, WBC, WBO. So I was pretty much did as much as you possibly can in the cruiserweight, and I did it in a short period of time. And I went over to Jean-Marc Mormec's hometown on the outskirts of Paris, Levallois, in front of things about 8,000 of his fans. I think they only gave me 20 tickets, so I had 20 people and 20 family members there, and I destroyed him, took him out, and turned that crowd. The crowd were pretty anti Haymaker before the fight. They booed me, jeered me going into the ring. At the end of it, they were going bananas for me. They really were, even though I went over there and took out their hero. He was the only world champion, the only French world champion, and I knocked him out. I smashed him to bits. And after that, I've got a lot of French fans now. People respect when someone goes to someone else's home turf and puts on a good performance. They didn't go out there and jab and move and try and steal the fight. No, I went over there and I took him out. I took his best, I dished out my best, and he lost in the story. And that's what people want to pay to see. People want to put their people work hard for the money. They don't want to put their hand in the pocket to go and watch someone throw 200 jabs around, and that's it, and wait till the other guy runs out of breath and falls over. That's not what people want to pay to see, and people can guarantee that's not what they're going to see with me.
I hear you talking about selling the seats have been sold out and done really well. What about getting up early in the morning and going to bed early at night? Are you training hard?
I will be training hard. I live a clean life, a clean lifestyle. I've got a pretty, I figured out the right routine for me throughout my cruiserweight career. Early on in my career, I was a bit of a playboy. I used to go to bed late, used to go out a little too much. And I paid the price for that. I pushed the boundaries as far as it could take me, in terms of putting my whole life and soul into boxing. It took me to get my ass kicked. We think, okay, maybe I'm doing it the wrong way. Let me reevaluate my lifestyle, reevaluate how I live day to day. And I think I found a nice balance now, and I think it showed just the fact that I've made £200. If you see. If you see how difficult it was for me to get down to 200 pounds, and I dieted, and was in training camp for a solid 9 months in the pre-Mormec and then Macronelli. So for 9 months solid, I was in the gym. I had 4 days off out of the gym directly after the fight with Mormec, and I was straight back in there. because I wanted to unify those titles, and I wanted to do it and make sure my body was in the best condition it could be. And so it took 9 months of dedication to do that, but it was a dedication worthwhile, because here we go, two fights prior to that, here I am. You know, I'm the #1 contender for this fella. You know, he's universally recognised as the best fighter on the planet. Fair enough, at heavyweight. But I'm not impressed. Never have been impressed. Even when I was at cruiserweight, when he really wasn't really on my radar at all. I thought, you know, I used to watch his fights and think, I could beat this guy. I thought, okay, I've still got to win these cruiserweight titles first. So now I've won these cruiserweight titles. I said to anybody that listen, I will kick Vladimir Klitschko's ass with ease. I will not only kick it, I will look good doing it. You know, and
doesn't all that happen in the training though? Even
it happens, yeah. It's been happening since I was 2 years of age. If you asked me when I was 2 what I was going to be when I was older, most kids say I want to be a fireman or a policeman. I'm going to say I want to be the heavyweight champion of the world. That's what I've said to everybody since day one. My whole cruiserweight campaign was just a lead-in to my heavyweight campaign. That's all it was. It was just a little preparation against guys who are a lot faster than these guys. You know, so I had a disadvantage in actually having to take weight off to fight these faster guys. Because around 200 pounds, between 200 and 220, there's not that much difference in punch power. It's not, you know. But obviously, when you go up 230, 240, 250, like this fella is, the shots go through you a little more. But the difference is you see them coming. Not only am I going to see him come, I'm seeing him coming a lot further away because the guy's so damn big. He's heavy. He's quite effective with his. He's used to being a big guy in the fight. He's used to having the physical advantages over his opponent. So he's got lazy. He doesn't have to dig deep. I don't think he has to dig deep in sparring. He doesn't have to dig deep in his fights. The only time he has had to dig deep, he's lost, or he's looked terrible.
Do kangaroo punches work in this kind of fight?
You'll see on June 20th. You know, it's going to be.
What is a kangaroo punch?
You're jumping in with Floyd. You'll see. I'll put myself in a position where I'll be able to land my bombs. You know, I'll be able to land my trademark haymaker. It's what I've been doing since I was a little kid. And there's no reason why that can't keep happening now. You know, I know his style. I know what he's about. I know what he's going to try and do, and it won't work against him. It might work against Hasim Rahman or Tony Thompson or one of them other guys that he's been fighting. Guys who didn't really come with any ambition. Guys who weren't in their prime, in their peak. Physically, I couldn't be in a better place than I am now. You know, I'm coming off a nice string of knockout victories. You know, I haven't got no miles on the clock. I'm not banged out. I ain't been knocked out. You know, the fight that I lost, I got stopped to my feet. My corner threw in the towel. So there was no wear and tear. There's no wear and tear. I'm fresh. When was the last time you fought someone fresh who was in their prime? He fought, what's his name? I think the freshest guy he's fought was that Ibragimov. He was coming off a draw against Tim Austin or someone like that. So that shows the level of opposition that he's been fighting in, and he's going to be in for a rude awakening when that first bell rings.
Is that what you feel? I'm sorry. Is that what you feel is your edge?
My edge is my. He's spent so many years fighting B-level opponents. He's become a B-level opponent. He's become a B-level champion. You become what you're used to dealing with, and he's used to dealing with guys out of shape, fat, slow, over the hill, who literally just turn up for a payday. No, serious. Look through his record, and you'll see he's fighting people who have got no real desire. They're not willing to go through it to get the victory. The only guys who have been willing to do that have beaten him. Brewster the first time round was willing to take some punishment to get in there, and what did he do? He knocked him out. He got through that early onslaught and knocked him out. Corey Sanders didn't have to go for an onslaught. He just threw some punches at him and wasn't scared and knocked him out. Since then, he's been very, very clever and very astute on who he chooses as his opponents to make sure they don't expose the same things that those guys shown.
Is he the best guy that you fought as a pro?
Yeah, without a doubt, he will be the best fight. But he might not appear that way, the way I'm going to destroy him. But on paper, by far, he's the #1 heavyweight in the world. You know, you got to give him credit for that at least. You know, but in terms of entertainment, in terms of leaving a legacy in boxing, in 20 years' time, no one's going to remember him. He's just going to be that big dude that I knocked out in Germany.
Can you discuss your transition from cruiserweight to heavyweight and how that has affected your fighting style, if at all?
It's made me faster. It's made me sharper. It's increased my endurance. You got to remember, if you got a football team and you say to all the football team, right then, you've all got to take off 30 pounds, 35 pounds in 3 months. I guarantee them that team's not going to be as fast, it's not going to be as strong as it would be. You know, particularly if they're already at their natural weight. taking weight off for anybody, Atoll Bolt, or whatever, 100 metres. Okay, tell him to take off 30 pounds before he races. He's not going to have the energy in him. He's not going to be at his natural weight. And I've been fighting underneath my natural weight for years. So now you can actually see what I'm really about. You saw when I fought Monty Barrett. Every time I actually hit him, I clipped him, he went over. My powers increased so much fighting at heavyweight because I've got all the nutrients in me. I'm healthy. I can eat. I don't have to train and I have to watch what I eat, weighing what I eat, counting calories. None of that. I could just have good meals before training. I drink carb drinks during training, so I'm getting calories while I'm training, after I'm training. So I'm hydrated constantly. Whereas before I wasn't. I was dehydrated.
Did that affect your chin at all?
Definitely, without a doubt. If you told Marvin Hagler to drain 35 pounds and then fight someone, I guarantee his chin wouldn't be as effective as it was when he comes in at his natural weight. So it definitely would have made an effect.
How do you hope to handle his left jab, which you'll probably
don't get hit by it. Don't get hit by it. The whole plan with his jab is don't get hit by it. He's very effective if you let him punch you in the face. But it's never been my style to allow someone to hit me in the face. It doesn't make sense to me. If you go through any of my fights and find a fight where I've been hit by more than 5 jabs in the whole fight, I think I'll be very surprised. One thing I don't do is get hit by jabs. So you see him coming. My reflexes are faster than him. I'm faster than him in general, and he's used to fighting the Hassim Rahman over the hill. Hassim Rahman's his jab's going to look $1 million against him. He's going to look like Sugar Ray Robinson in there. You put me in the ring with him, and he's going to look exactly what it is. He's going to look like Ivan Drago in the last round against Rocky.